Hello YouTube, this is Austin from Team Victory Star, and today I'm going to profile you the deck that I used to take 40th place at Fort Wayne Regionals. I was really close to making top 32, but there were actually 6 people who made into top 32 with the same record that I did, so there was a lot of, I went 6-2-1, and there was a lot of people that were 6-2-1, so I kind of had my resistance in the middle, and it just wasn't as good as all the rest of the people. But I am here to profile my list because 40th place is still top 64, which is a good accomplishment out of 490 players that were there.
It's the biggest regionals.
Yeah, it was the biggest regionals that we've ever had. Like, I think it's like historically the biggest regionals anyone's ever had. So 40th out of all those people is not a bad accomplishment.
Yeah, we are definitely proud of them. So.
Yeah, and I had my I think 4 other teammates used the same list?
You and me and Gumby and Andrew. So
there's only 3. Okay, so my other 3 teammates used the exact same list, and they kind of scrubbed out, but they didn't practice with it as much as I did, so I don't blame them. You know, I practiced with it day in and day out. All right, anyway, so on to the list. I played 1, 2, 3 Seismitoad. I felt like 4 was overkill, and I didn't want to play 2 in case I prized 1. 3 was just that perfect number, just so that I can pretty much guarantee I can get the turn 1 Quaking Punch. Then we play 2 Giratina. The 2 Giratina because you don't want to play 1 because they get prized. You don't want to play 3 because that's just way too many. The Chaos Wheel wins you matchups in Vespiquen and Night March because then they can't attach DCEs. They can't play Dimension Valley or anything like that. And you can also lock in your stadiums that you need.
It's also pretty good against the mirror.
And yeah, it's pretty good against the mirror. Locks your opponent out of DC so they can't Quaking Punch. Then we play 2 Shaman. This is just to help set up, you know, staple card in pretty much every deck nowadays. The one tech card that I had was 1 Jirachi EX, and being able to Ultra Ball for this guy, Hoopa, and then search out, you know, a Jirachi, a Shaman, then a Toad, or Giratina, Shaman, or a Jirachi. Or you'd probably want to search out this guy, and then any other combination of the 2. Jirachi ensures that you get the turn 1 supporter, and it helps a lot in another card that I'll show you later in this video. So that's the Pokemon line. They're all EXs, so I'll tell you how I deal with that later against like safeguards. On to the supporters. I play 1, 2, 3 Junipers, and yeah, I know I don't have the 3rd reverse one, but whatever. 3 Juniper just because I needed space, and I run 4 VS Seeker anyway, which you'll see. You know, spoiler alert. 3 I found was to be a pretty good number that's still consistent and still going to get me the Juniper when I need it. Then I play 2 Lysander. I never play less than 2, never play more than 2. 2 Lysander is just like that perfect little sweet spot. Then I play 6 one-of supporters. I play 1 Colress. Shuffle, draw like 10, 12 cards, you know, 15, whatever. Play 1 Getsus. This is what Jirachi is good for, and actually the reason why I included it, because getting the turn 1 Getsus against your opponent can win you games a lot of the time. I actually took some of the games in regionals because I played Getsus on the first round. They just scooped, and they were like, oh, I'm not playing this out. We play 1 AZ. This picks up your damaged Shamans. It picks up Toads that are stuck active with like a head ringer. Picks up stuff that you need to. It's just a better super scoop up. Well, not better, but it's a supporter, and it automatically gets it in your hand without having to flip. So it's just instant, and it can surprise your opponent sometimes. I play 1 N because I'll never not play a deck and expand it without an N, because N is just way too good. But I didn't really want 2 because I didn't want to be playing N most of the time. Play 1 Team Flare Gun, just energy disruption. That's all you want to do with this deck is just disrupt. Xerosic, same thing, just get DCs off your opposing Pokemon's Toads. Or like a floating off Keldeo, you know, do whatever you need to do. So this is the supporter line. And it's a little weird to most decks, but it works with this deck. Alright, on to items. I play 5 4-ofs, which is probably the most consistent deck I've ever played. So first we have 4 VS Seekers. This is just to get back your supporters. With a thin, you know, 1-of supporter line that you already run, 4 VS Seeker helps you really utilize most of those 1-ofs multiple times. Then we play 4 Laser. You know, extra poison for Quaking Punch. Can get the Sleep Flip block. One of the most annoying cards in the format by far. Then we play 4 Super Scoop Up. Most people are like, well, why do you play that deck? It's not like you're playing Batch or something where you have to scoop them back up in your hand. Well, it's just another one of those disruption things where it stops your opponent from taking prizes. It can be really clutch when you're stuck active, paralyzed, whatever. And you just scoop it back up, 150 damage, all negated. We play 4 Ultra Ball. I like consistency, and 4 Ultra Ball guarantees me that I'm at least going to draw it most of the time. And I'm going to be able to get the turn 1 Hoopa or the turn 1 Shaman just so that I can draw cards or get set up. And then when I play 4 Crushing Hammer, because this deck is all about disruption. Crushing Hammer is probably one of the top 10 most broken cards in the format right now. Even though it's on a coin flip, just being able to discard energy off your opponent and any energy is just really, really good. And then I play 3 2-of items. We play 2 Headringer. A lot of people were playing 3, but I felt 2 was just enough because I needed space, and 2 will get the job done. 3 is just a little bit of overkill because most likely your opponent will be able to attach tools to their Pokemon on the first turn anyway, so 2 is just in case. We play 2 Muscle Band. Most people will play 3. I play 2 just because I need space, and again, you're not going to be really, really painting just to do the extra damage. Because you have Giratina in this deck to do the extra like 70 damage that Chaos Wheel does over Quaking Punch. Then we play 2 Floatstone. Keldeo Rush and Retreat. Attach to a Hoopa, attach them to a Shaman. Whatever you need to do. Get you free retreat. Then my 1-of items, I play 1 Computer Search, most consistent card in the format. 1 Tool Scrapper, because I hated Headringers. I actually took out a Hex Maniac for this. Because I wasn't really ever stopping abilities as much as I wanted to, and the Tool Scrapper really helps stop the Headringers or stop your opponent from doing whatever they want to do. Then I play 1 Enhanced Hammer because this deck is all about disruption, and this just gets you one step further. Now for stadiums, I play 2 Verbank to help with the laser damage, and 1 Silent Lab. The matchup that I was worried about the most was Keldeo Blastoise, so I felt like the Silent Lab could really help with that, along with the Getsus, all that stuff. And it actually really did come into effect. A lot of the time, actually. And then now for the energy, we have 4 double colorless. And these are so you can Quaking Punch, and these go hand in hand with Chaos Wheel because you have a 2 colorless retreat cost on Chaos Wheel. Then you run 3 Double Dragon. And those are for Giratina strictly. It kind of sucks when you dead draw those when you're trying to Quaking Punch. But that's why you only run 3, so you don't run 4, so you don't dead draw them as much as you would. Yeah. So that is the list. I'm going to run down my matchups for you. Round 1, I was actually really upset about facing because, go figure. I start regionals. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling really confident about this tournament, and I play against Wailord. I get paired against Wailord. Go figure. I get paired against the 2nd place deck at Nationals, and it's pretty much verbatim the exact same list. So, I'm trying to do like a Jason Klaczynski here. I'm like, I'm Quaking Punching and all that. They're Team Flare Grunting. And, I eventually just scoop, and I'm done. So, I lose that first series, and, I'm like really, really bummed about it. And, I go into the 2nd round. I'm not feeling too hot. I'm all the way at table like 200 something. And so I face against a Rayquaza Electric deck, one of the standard ones from back in the day. Just Dragon Rayquaza, Fire Energies, and Lightning, trying to Dragon Burst. No Megas, no nothing like that. And she was a really cool person. Had a good time, just playing, talking. Yeah. And I won. I actually went to Game 3. I won Game 1, she won Game 2, and I won Game 3. It was a really fun series. It was a really close series. I did get my ass stomped the 2nd round, or 2nd game. It was pretty bad. And she was like, holy hell, you got a dead hand. I was like, yeah, I did. And then round 3, I'm feeling high. I'm like 1-1. I'm cool. Yeah. Round 3, I go into Trevenant and Excelgor. I have a really good time with that matchup. I've tested it before because you have Quaking Punch to stop their items, and then you have Chaos Wheel to stop their DCs from flowing. Well, the first game I lost. It was like, oh shit. now I gotta
you forgot to play the matchup.
Shit.
You're like, shit. All right.
And Game 2. Oh, no, wait, that's backwards. I won Game 1. Yeah, I won Game 1. Okay. And I was like, okay, this is pretty hot. I just need one more game. Then he has to work for 2. I have to work for 1. He has to work for 2. So second game, I start Lone Keldeo. He gets the turn 1 Trevin, and I have Ultra Balls in my hand with some Versus Seekers. I'm like, oh shit. So, I'm draw passing, and then he deck and covers for the game. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm scooping, this is stupid. So round 3, he goes second, I go first, I draw, and I have a dead hand again. I'm like, ah, son of a bitch. I Ultra Ball, and I prized 1 Shaman and 1 Hoopa. And that was really bad. And then, so I went for Jirachi, and I also prized Getsus. So it was pretty bad.
We prized another one of us, boys!
So what I got out on my first turn on that game was, I started Lone Keldeo again, but I had the Ultra Ball for the stuff, but I prized Hoopa, so I went for Shaman, drew some cards, and I dead-handed. Yeah. And I was like, ah, shit, so I only got the Keldeo and the Shaman. He starts turn 1 Trevin in again with the Wally. I'm like, god damn it. So he takes a minute to get set up, so I have some turns to, draw pass, because my monologue. So I'm like, well, shit, this would be the perfect time I could play Hex Maniac. But I didn't really expect to see a lot of Trevin and Excelgor.
Yeah.
And he didn't do very well either, so, I wasn't really worried about him doing well, so. That game went to crap, and I scooped because that was a really bad game. So now I'm 1-2, I can still top with 1-2, winning out, whatever.
Woo!
So we go into lunch, I'm 1-2, I'm really depressed about it, and then the funny story about this whole tournament was that I heard I didn't hear it. My friend Randy told me a while ago that, like a long time ago, probably 2 years ago, that Arby's is the key to success. When you go to lunch, eat Arby's and come back and you will succeed. So I went there, and I also realized that I wasn't using my my team mat. I was using my regionals mat just because I already had it out. And so I switched to my team mat, and then I ate some Arby's. I came back. The round after I came back was Rayquaza, Electric, Manectric. So it was a pretty cool game. The guy's deck was really cool. But he Mega Evolved like 3 times, while I was attacking with Giratina. So he was like, retreat, Emerald Break. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. It's like, okay, well, Silent Loud, like, you can't do that. And then, because I already Chaos Wheeled. And then he was like, oh, well, shit, I'm scooping. It's like, okay. And I won that one. I actually 2-0'd him. So the 5th round, I'm feeling really good. I'm actually sitting next to Vicky, our other team member. I'm chilling, like, we're laughing, we're having a good time. And then Vicky says, like, oh, you're running Wailord, aren't you? I'm like, oh, yeah, I am. The guy across from me, my opponent, is like, oh my god, you're running Wailord? I just auto-lose to that. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what do you mean? Like, nothing just auto-loses to Duran, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh my god, you're playing Wailord. Son of a bitch! So he flips over his card, and it's a fucking Wailord. I faced the second Wailord the whole day.
Yeah!
That Wailord. Oh my god. So, the first game, I'm trying to stick with that whole strategy that I was thinking of. You just draw pass. Eventually they're going to have to, like, N or Shauna to get your hand back in your deck and then try to deck you out again. So what I'm doing is I'm playing as minimal cards as possible, which is a Colress 1 turn, draw pass, until I have no cards left in my deck, and then Versus Seeker for Colress, and I'm Colressing for 1. I'm starting my lone Pokemon, and I'm not benching anything else. Mm-hmm. So game 1, he takes it. And then I don't really remember how he did. I think I finally was like, fuck it, I'm just like gonna Quaking Punch. So I did that and I lost, whatever. Yeah. So second game, I was like, I'm gonna tough it through. Don't do anything besides draw pass. And I literally, like no lie, literally draw passed about 300 times that entire match. It was horrible. It was the most horrible game I've ever played. Vicky was talking shit to him the whole time. She's like, that deck takes no skill. And he's like, I disagree. This shit was funny. But no, like, we tied it. I offered the ID in the middle of the match, and he was like, no, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk not being able to cut. He didn't anyway. Whatever. Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So, we tie because I won the game. I decked him out eventually. I just kept Colressing for 1. He kept using Shauna, Pokemon Fan Club. He kept using his cards, and I'm like, okay, well, if you keep doing this, I'm going to win the match. Because I'm just going to pass, and you're going to draw. And then you're going to draw out of cards. So, I tied that one. I felt really good about it. Even though I didn't win, I'm just like ecstatic that
So now we're 2-2-1.
Yeah, I tied the Wailord. I'm like, yeah, I tied the Wailord. I didn't have to take a loss, so I could be 2-3 at this point. So I'm like, 2-2-1. That's good. I'm still above my losses.
If we win out, we have a chance, boys.
Yeah, I'm like, if I win out, I have the chances. So, round 6, I faced Fighting Bats. Fighting Bats was a good... there's a fucking mosquito. Oh my god damn it. Anyway, we're out in his garage, in Keegan's garage. Anyway.
Yeah, what's poppin'?
So, round 6, I faced Fighting Bats. It was like mostly Lucario. Like I think he played like 3 Lucario and 2 Landorus. It was like, holy shit, he's going hardcore with these attackers.
Yeah, he's making sure.
I don't remember the match that well, but I know I won at least, and that was pretty cool. I was quaking punching for a while. He misplayed one time, and he made it aware that he misplayed. He was like, "Ah, damn it!" And I was like, "Yeah." He benched a Landorus, and I Lysandered it up for a quaking punch for 100.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yep, that's pretty much game."
Yeah.
So I won that one. I don't really remember much about it besides that.
Easy 2-0s, boys.
Yeah, I won. So round 7, I'm like, I haven't seen any Vespiquen or Night March. Some of my easy wins, not auto wins, but just easy wins. So round 7, I go in and I'm facing Vespiquen. I'm like, dude, this guy's cool. I met him at a league challenge earlier, about 2 weeks ago. Last weekend.
Yeah.
He was a really cool guy. He was like, hey, you're that guy who did all that stuff at that LC. Almost got in a fight at LC. That's story for
That's a story for another day.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, I know.
We don't talk about that. Vespiquen, so I got the Chaos Wheel off and I just locked him out. He's like, I can't do anything. I killed his Flareon so he couldn't blacksmith 2 of them. And he was like, yeah, dude, that's game. It's like, all right, cool. Sorry about that. And I 2-0'd him in about 10 minutes. And it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Round 8, I finally go against the matchup that I was worried the most about. And this is probably the matchup that I remember the most. I went against Archie's Blastoise. Most fun deck ever to face.
Yep.
Oh my god. So this one. Game 1, he goes first.
Yeah.
Does he go first?
Yeah.
He goes first. So I start Lone Keldeo. He's exploding. His turn takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
His first turn takes about 10 minutes. And he gets the turn 1 Blastoise. He gets like 4 energy on a Keldeo. And I'm like, shit. What if I told you I was running Keldeo Blastoise? He's like, well, I'd be surprised because I saw that crushing hammer in your mulligan hand. Yeah, mulligan once.
Woo!
And he was like, yeah, you're probably running like Toad, aren't you? I was like, yup. So I drew, and I prize Tupa after I Ultra Ball. So I drew a Shaman, and I Shaman for like 2, and I whiffed a basic. So, he's just sitting there secret sorting for the knockout. I lose game 1. Game 2, I go first. I start extremely well. He starts a lone Keldeo, and I start the Hoopa for Jirachi for Getsus. I Getsus away all of his items in his hand. He had like 3 water energy, so his hand was dead anyway, and he had like a muscle band. So his hand was just completely dead. And he's like, yeah, dude, you have this. And I started Silent Lab too. So the Silent Lab plus Getsus, that was pretty much the game for me. He scooped that first game.
That's
He's like,
how
let's
you
go on
win
to
against
game
Blastoise.
Game 3, he sets up. He gets turn 1 Blastoise. He gets 3 energy on 1 bench Keldeo, 3 energy on the active. I set up, and I get 2 Crushing Hammers off heads, both of them. So I discard the active. I put him to sleep. Then I Silent Lab, so he can't rush in. And then I Quaking Punch for 80 or 60 rather. And so this is a pretty good match. It's pretty even, and eventually he just runs out of resources after I Quaking Punch because he can't get items back. He can't do anything. He runs like a very minimal support line, which is what Archie's Blastoise is.
Yeah.
So I eventually ended up taking that game, and it was a really close series, and I actually liked playing that guy. He was really cool.
Yeah.
Don't really remember his name, but I could look it up later. Round 9 is against my boy Jared Weiss. He was sick, and he was like, I'm the same record as you, 5-2-1 right now. I'm like, dude, and I'm sorry. So I'm like, I don't want to ID because if we ID, then we both screw ourselves out of even a chance of cut. So he's like, yeah, I understand. So we go. It's the mirror match, the most fun.
Yeah.
And I get everything off that I needed to. All the Crushing Hammers. I head ringered him at the right times.
Yeah,
and I 2-0'd him. And it was pretty bad. And I felt bad.
Yeah, probably the most comfortable testing that me and Austin and the guys did. We tested the mirrors so many times. We tested like multiple counts of different stuff. It was just.
It was the most annoying match. The mirror match.
I was banking on playing a lot of the mirror because So.
All right, well, that's all I have for you folks. Just a little regionals report and giving you my deck list. So thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like, share, favorite, etc. And have a good day.
Woo!